Hello everybody and welcome back then to the Valvik Marble League. It's the penultimate event of the season, football. Hello everybody and welcome back then. My name as always is Frankie and we're here with event number 15, football. Well, let's see what happened last time out in the standings. It was in fact the Scorpioneers that retook the lead after their third goal in the elimination race. And look at that, 7 teams have already been knocked out of the championship contention, with perhaps even more as the number of available points keeps dwindling with 2 events to go. But let's get right to it then with football, the third and final bracket style event. There's the bracket over there. First match is going to be the Scorpioneers against the Royal Jesters. The rules of football, very similar to what we've seen from last season. You have 2 halves. Already we have a goal from the Scorpioneers. The more goals you have by the end of those first half, by the end of the 2 halves, you will advance. Already it's 2-0 for the Scorpioneers on the right side. Already now 2-1 for the Royal Jesters. Royal Jesters now getting a goal with 5 seconds to go left in the first half. Of course, they still have a second half, and if they end up tying after the first 2 halves, there will be a tiebreaker in the form of extra time. But right now, it's very much advantage Scorpioneers. Scorpioneers and very good performance last time out in Season 2 when we had football. They finished 3rd place, and right now, look at that, 2-4 already for the Scorpioneers. Already with 5 seconds into the first half, and already Scorpioneers are 2 goals up on the Royal Jesters. As meanwhile, the ball is very much on the Jester side. Look at now, 3-5. For the Scorpioneers, 4-5 now. Royal Jesters trying to come back with a few seconds remaining in the second half here, but it doesn't seem to happen right now. With 3 seconds to go, and oh, that was very close. The Royal Jesters managed to force the Scorpioneers into extra time. That was very close to go for the Royal Jesters. The 16th place team, they now have a chance to recover and beat the Scorpioneers here in extra time. They have 30 more seconds to make it. It's already 5-6 in favor of the Royal Jesters. They're coming back here. The Scorpioneers are now very tired after those first intense 2 halves here. Let's look at, we're already 15 seconds into extra time, and it's Royal Jesters still in the lead here. No movements being made whatsoever. The ball very much in the Scorpioneers side. Already 5-7 now in favor of the Royal Jesters with 5 seconds to go in the first half now. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Scorpioneers are eliminated here. And the Jesters have done it. They move on and are guaranteed to be in the top 8. The Scorpioneers, leaders in the overall standings, are out, eliminated by the 16th place team. That was a massive turn of events in the second half. Talk about a comeback from the Royal Jesters already in the first match of the event. Alright, now, Carbons and the Golfbirds. Carbons, of course, another very decent performer here in football. They finished 2nd and were able to force every single match that they had into extra time. But right now, advantage very much Golfbirds. The Carbons managed to equalize now, but it's now 2-1 in favor of the Golfbirds. With 10 seconds remaining in the first half, it's still 2-1 for the Golfbirds. As I say that now, it's 2-2. Tied up with 5 seconds to go in the first half. I don't think the Carbons are going to make many movements here, but look at that. Oh, 3-3. Oh, just about before the bell, before the whistle here. As they go in the second half, they are tied up now, 3-3. Well, you've seen how the Carbons can force extra time on their opponents here. It's already 5-4 in favor of the Golfbirds. Carbons now at a disadvantage right now. Only 15 seconds into the second half, and it's very much advantage Golfbirds. Oh, but they managed to get a goal just about there to the Carbons. It's now 5-5 with 10 seconds to go in the second half. I don't see many movements happening right now. Almost getting a goal there are the Carbons. Very offensive now on the side of the Golfbirds. But they're gonna go into extra time. As I say that, the Carbons do it again. They push the Golfbirds into extra time. That's already 2nd extra time in 2 matches. Goes to show just how intense this event tends to become, but it's already now 5-6 favor of the Golfbirds. The Carbons can still choke it here, but they can still make a comeback here. It's 5-6 favor of the Golfbirds. Carbons very aggressive on the side of the Golfbirds now, but meanwhile the ball is on the side of the Carbons. Golfbirds there, everybody on that left side. As Golfbirds almost managed to score there with 5 seconds still to go in the in extra time here. I don't see many movements happening, and oh, the Carbons score on themselves. And that's going to be a disaster for the Carbons. The Golfbirds do move on. A team that's on a very decent string of results as of late. 2 4th place finishes in the last 2 events. They just managed to get out of 16th place after spending 8 events. That's half of the league in last. And now they're guaranteed to have a top 8 finish as we move into the 3rd match with the Sailors and the Disco Neons. It's already 1-0 for the Sailors. 1-1 now. They tie it up with the Neons. As meanwhile, the Sailors going very defensively on their own side. Not too much movement there from the Sailors. More movement from the Disco Neons though, but it's still 1-1. Almost getting a goal there were the Disco Neons. But with few seconds still left to go in the first half, I don't think that's going to happen there. As the Sailors put up a decent defense here. And it's 1-1 after the first half. Going into the second half now, it's very much 1-1. It's still anybody's game here. As they're off now. It's already, oh look at that, 2-1 now for the Disco Neons, but the Sailors managed to bring it back up now. It's 2-2 now. And as the ball very much on the Sailors side, the goalie anchor is there, but 3-2 now in favor of the Disco Neons. With 15 seconds still left to go in the second half here, it's 3-2 in favor of the Disco Neons. It's now 2-3, 4-3 now. So Disco Neons still very much in the lead with a few seconds still to go in the second half. I don't see any movement from the Sailors, and it's over for the Sailors. It's 5-3. The Disco Neons do move on. With a goal last minute, they were able to confirm and solidify that position. They were able to move on with a 5-3 advantage +2 over the Sailors. Of course, these scores are important for the teams that do get eliminated because they will determine how you stack up against everybody else. As you saw, the Carbons and the Scorpions both forcing extra time. That will put you a little bit better up in the standings compared to teams like the Sailors, who lost in the second half. As meanwhile, now we already got started with the match between the Buzzers and the Bubblegum Ballers. It's 2-2 now, tied up with a few seconds still left to go in the first half. 2-3 now, 4-3 for the Bubblegum Ballers. With 5 seconds still left to go in the first half, it's still 4-3 for the Bubblegum Ballers. And I think that's going to finish, and that's how it's going to finish. 4-3 for the Bubblegum Ballers. Advantage Ballers then for the second half. They're off now. Still 4-4. Ball very much on the ball side. 3-5 now for the Bubblegum Ballers. 2-goal advantage. 4-5 now. But Wilson can still bring it back here. As 5-5 now, 6-5 now for the Bubblegum Ballers. With a few seconds still left to go in the first half. I don't see much movement from the side of the Balls of Zen here with 5 seconds left to go in the second half. And that's how it's going to remain. The Balls of Zen then eliminated. Bubblegum Ballers do move on. Another team that's in that championship battle. Right now they're sitting in a decent 4th place. And with both the Carbons and the Scorpions eliminated, they could be seeing a big boost of points going into this last event. As we get into the Sky Scouts and the Peculiar Peaks Sky Scouts, another team that's in that championship battle. Right now it's 0-0, 1-0 now for the Sky Scouts. Only 10 seconds in, and it's already advantage Sky Scouts as the ball very much in the Sky Scout side. Peculiar Peaks struggling to get to it as the Sky Scouts playing very defensively here. They got their goal. Now they just need to hold on, as now it's 2-0 now for the Sky Scouts. Very great defensive here for the Sky Scouts with a few seconds left to go in the first half. And it's over. It's 2-0 advantage Sky Scouts going into the second half. And they're off. Still very much 0-2-0-3 now for the Sky Scouts. That's a very big margin now. The Peculiar Peaks now managed to get 1-3. But it's still a very big advantage for the Sky Scouts as the ball is very much on their own side. Oh, but they score a goal on themselves. 2-3 now. Not as comfortable as it was before, but now ball very much in the ball side of the Peculiar Peaks. Oh, but they mess up. They cannot get a goal there with 3 seconds left to go. That was a close goal for the Sky Scouts, but they do manage to move on here. It's only a 2-3, but if you do win, you still move on regardless of what the result was. As for the Peculiar Peaks, they will have to compete against the other eliminated teams, see how they stack up. Alright, match 6 now with the Violet Vermin and the Atomics. The Violet Vermin, a team that's been trending very well as of late, the winners of the minor league. Last time out, It's their first time in football as well. 1-0 right now for the Violet Vermin. 2-0 now for the Violet Vermin. Atomics, they're very much messing up here. As the Violet Vermin, great defensive play here with 15 seconds still left to go in the first half. It's 2-0 for the Violet Vermin as they go into the offensive now. But everybody on the Violet Vermin on their own side here, they're now playing very defensive now that they have that margin over the Atomics. Oh, and just before the whistle there, 3-0 for the Violet Vermin here. This is a very big advantage going into the last half here. Atomics can still claw it back though, but I don't see it being very likely with how defensive the Violet Vermin have been playing so far. It's already 4-0. It's already now 1-4, 1-5 now for the Violet Vermin. With 15 seconds left to go, 2-5 now for the Violet Vermin. It's still a 3-goal advantage, 4-goal advantage now for the Violet Vermin with 5 seconds left to go in the second half now. Can it be 2-7? It's 2-7 now for the Violet Vermin, and that's it. Oh, domination over the Atomics from the Violet Vermin. As I said before, a team that's been trending very well here in the last few events of the Valvic Marble League. Another great performance. They're guaranteed another top 8 finish here. Atomics, meanwhile, a poor performance. We might even see them be last, depending on how these last 2 matches go here. As Team Virtuoso and Shakuran now get ready for their own match. It's already off. 1-1 now. A brief advantage to the Shakuran, but the Team Virtuoso claw it back now. 10 seconds into the first half here. It's still very much tied up, going into 15 seconds into the first half, but Shakuran going very defensively here, and so is Team Virtuoso. It's now 1-2, favor of the Shakuran. As Team Virtuoso desperately trying to get a move on here, but it's not going to happen in the first half, and it's 1-2 going into the second half. They're off now for the second half. 2-1, favor of the Shakuran. 3-1, as I say now, 3-2. They still have a 1-goal advantage. 2-3 now, it's tied up for both teams here. Team Virtuoso could still claw it back. We've seen that from the Golfbirds, how they were able to dethrone the Carbons in the last few seconds of the match. But now it's 4-3 for the Shakuran. As Team Virtuoso desperate to get a move on here, but Shakuran, beautiful defensive play here. And it's over. And the Shakuran do move on. Fantastic performance here from the Shakuran, the rookies, beating out the more experienced Team Virtuoso, despite the fact that it's also their first time in football, I should say. Now still a decent performance from both of these teams here, but Shakuran do manage to get a move on. As we get into the last match now between the Sushi Squad and Team Echo. They're off here. In first 5 seconds, it's still 0-0. We haven't seen that so far in this event. There's always been a goal in the first 5 seconds, but still 15 seconds into the first half, it's still 0-0 for both teams here. Not a lot of movement here with 10 seconds still to go. Of course, if it continues on like this, they will move on into extra time. But with 3 seconds left to go in the first half, it's still 0-0 for both teams here. Sushi Squad going very defensive at the start. I think that's what affected them a whole lot. They're off now for the second half. And there's a goal for the Sushi Squad already. 0-1. The Sushi Squad now take the lead. 10 seconds into the first half now. It's still 0-1 now for the Sushi Squad. As Team Echo desperately now trying into the Sushi Squad side to try to get a goal here. With the Sushi Squad, very good defensive here from their goalkeeper as well as their members. 10 seconds left to go now in the first half. Now it's 0-2 for the Sushi Squad. At the line there. Oh, 1-2 now, but it's over. The Sushi Squad do manage to move on. Oh, they do manage to beat Team Echo. At the end there, they did not start off all that well with no goals in the first half, but in the second half, that's where they were able to bring it back. Sushi Squad will move on. So that's then your top 8. We have to wait now to see in which order. But from 9 to 16, the Scorpions and the Carbons actually tied on points. Balls in 11, Team Virtuoso in 12th. As we go into the first quarterfinal, it's the Royal Jesters and the Sky Scouts. We're off here. And already good start for the Sky Scouts. 0-1 now. Oh, the Royal Jesters did not see that one coming. 1-2 now for the Sky Scouts. 2-2. The Jesters bring it back. 15 seconds into the first half. It's 3-2 now for the Royal Jesters. 4-2, a 2-goal lead for the Royal Jesters here. 4-3 now. In the last few seconds of the first half, it's still 4-3. I don't think it's going to change. And it's not. 4-3 going into the first half. That was a very close goal there for the Royal Jesters. They did not see that attack, that first attack from the Sky Scouts coming. As they're off for the second match, for the second half of this match. 55 now for the Royal Jesters. 10 seconds into the first half. Royal Jesters going very defensively now that they have a lead. They have a decent lead over the Sky Scouts, but the Sky Scouts now very aggressive now. 4-5 now for the still for the Royal Jesters in the last few seconds of the match here. 10 seconds to go. Oh, but the Jesters score one on themselves with 5 seconds to go. It's 5-5 now. And the Sky Scouts do force extra time. Fantastic recovery from the Sky Scouts, capitalizing on the error of the Royal Jesters here. The Jesters can still bring it back. But the Sky Scouts then very fortunate to go into extra time. It's 5-5 now. It's still 5-5. 5-6. 6-6 now. The Sky Scouts can still manage to recover here. But right now, there's not a lot of movement with 15 seconds to go in extra time here. We could see a second extra time. 7-6 now for the Royal Jesters. 7-7. 8-7. Advantage Royal Jesters. As now it's 9-7 with 5 seconds to go. I don't think it's going to happen. We could still see a goal here. But it's over. The Royal Jesters. That was a close goal. They do move on. Oh, fantastic recovery after their horrible mistake that led them to get their own goal in their own side. But the Royal Jesters then do have a decent score here. They are able to move on to the semifinal. Alright, Gulf Birds and the Violet Vermin now. They're off here. It's already now 1-1, 1-2 now. Advantage Violet Vermin. Not a lot of movement here. Gulf Birds now going very defensively on their own side. Violet Vermin very aggressive here. 2-2 now for the Gulf Birds. With 10 seconds to go now. 2-2. Gulf Birds now take the lead. 4-3. 4-3 now for the Gulf Birds. 5-4 now, with a few seconds to go. It's still 5-4. Oh, a goal was scored right after the whistle. That the one does not count. As we get now into the second half of the second quarterfinal, they're off. It's still 4-5 now. Advantage very much Gulf Birds. As now it's 4-6. But now the Gulf Birds have a 2-goal advantage. Now they can play a bit more defensively here. As the Violet Vermin all over the side of the Gulf Birds now. 5-6 for the Violet Vermin. With 10 seconds to go in the second half, we could still see the Violet Vermin force extra time here. With 3 seconds to go, I don't think it's going to happen. And it's over! Oh, the Gulf Birds do get another top 4 finish. Are guaranteed to get another top 4 finish. Fantastic performance here from the Gulf Birds. Violet Vermin then tried their best, but it was not enough to beat the Gulf Birds. Alright, Disco Neons and Chakarand for the third quarterfinal. They're off now. Already tied up, but now still advantage Chakarand, right side. With 10 seconds already passed from the first half. The ball very much on the side of the Disco Neons. Disco Neons going very aggressively on the side of the Chakarand, but now Chakarand playing a little bit more defensively here. They sent 2 players out on that side, but now it's 2-2 for Disco Neons. With 5 seconds to go, it's now 2-3 for the Chakarand, and that's how it's going to end. Advantage very much Chakarand going into the second half. They're off. 3-3, 4-3 now, 4-4. The Disco Neons managed to claw their way back up. Now they're back. Now they're tied again. With 10 seconds now passed from the second half. 15 seconds now to go. 4-5, 5-5. Disco Neons could still recover here, but Chakarand holding them very tight. With 5 seconds still to go. Chakarand 7-5 in the last few seconds. 2 goals, and they've done it. Oh, that was a fantastic recovery then from the Chakarand. In the dying stages of the match, they're able to get 2 goals back to back. to secure their spot in the semifinal. Alright, let's get now into the last quarterfinal with the Bubblegum Ballers and the Sushi Squad. They're off. Ten seconds already passed and still no goal has been scored. Again, it's happening, the same thing that happened to Team Echo is happening right now with the Bubblegum Ballers. 15 seconds still left to go in the first half. It's still 0-0 for both teams here. It's now with 10 seconds left to go. It's 0-1 now for the Sushi Squad. The Bubblegum Ballers that make a mistake, and this changes everything going into the second half, and that's how it's going to remain. 0-1. Oh, they did manage to score a goal, but that was after the whistle. That one does not count. Alright, they're out for the second half now. It's already now 2-1, 2-2 now. They tied it up, the Ballers. But now Sushi Squad going very defensively here. We could see extra time. With 50 seconds left to go. Oh, almost scoring a goal there were the Sushi Squad. Ball very much on the side of the Bubblegum Ballers. But the Sushi Squad are also playing very defensively on their own side. With 5 seconds left to go into the second half. And we're gonna see extra time here. Sushi Squad Bubblegum Ballers do manage to bring it back though. And we will see now extra time. Let's see if the Ballers can recover here. Secure a top 4 spot. As we get started now. It's already 3-2 now for the Bubblegum Ballers. Bubblegum Ballers then going very defensively on their own side. With 10 seconds already passed from the first half. Ball very much still in the side of the Bubblegum Ballers. But the Ballers there, very defensive play here. And it's another goal. 4-2 now for the Bubblegum Ballers. With 5 seconds left to go in extra time here. And it's over. And the Ballers then do manage to move on. Sushi Squad could not manage. I think they got tired after that second half. That's what led the Ballers to capitalize and move on. They will be now in the semifinal. So that's then your top 4. Let's see now in which order. So it is then the Jesters against the Golf Birds and the Shakuran against the Bubblegum Ballers. And then 5th come the Sky Scouts, Sushi Squad, Violet Vermin, and Disco Neons. But let's get now into the first semi-final. It's the Royal Jesters and the Golf Birds. Two teams that have been performing very well so far. One of them will not get silver or gold here. They can still get bronze. They're guaranteed to finish at least 4th. It's right now in the lead. It's the Golf Birds. The Golf Birds would love to see a medal here. They have not been able to medal the whole season. It's been 18 events since they last had a medal. But now it's still 1-1 favor of nobody. Now Golf Birds now retake lead going to the last few seconds now. 1-3 for the Golf Birds. 1-4 for the Golf Birds. Oh, beautiful recovery there in the last few seconds of the match. They were able to get those goals and now they have a 3-point advantage over the Royal Jesters into the second half. 30 seconds left to go for the 2 now. Still for the Golf Birds. 2-goal advantage here. The Golf Birds can now play as defensive as they need if they want to get a move on. They don't need to score any more goals. They need to stop the Jesters from scoring more. But the Jesters very much on the side of the Golf Birds here. As now it's still 4-2. Now 4-3 for the Golf Birds still. 5-3, 5-4. With 5 seconds left to go. 3 seconds left to go. And it's over! Oh, the Golf Birds do manage to get moving into the final. A guaranteed to medal. Oh, fantastic stuff then from the Golf Birds, who again have been waiting so patiently to medal the whole season. They're now finally able to do so. They will go to the final. Royal Jesters will have to compete for 3rd place. So get now into the second semifinal. It's the Shakuran and the Bubblegum Ballers. They're off here. And go 5 seconds in. It's still 0-0. Oh, 0-1 now for the Bubblegum Ballers. Shakuran makes a mistake. 1-2 now. Still for the Ballers. But the Shakuran bring it back now. 15 seconds left to go in the first half. Now Shakuran now take the lead. 3-2. The ball very much on the side of the Shakuran. Shakuran playing very aggressively on the side of the Bubblegum Ballers. With 5 seconds left to go in the first half. And it's going to be the way it is. 3-2 for the Shakuran. Let's go into the second half. It's very much advantage right side. Shakuran. They would love to get a medal here due to Shakuran. But so will the Bubblegum Ballers, who have last medaled in, I believe, Event 12, which was Team Pursuit. Their last gold, Event 5, the Final Endurance. It's 3-4 still for the Shakuran as we're getting into the last few seconds of the second half now. I don't see much movement happening. Shakuran playing very aggressively on the side of the ballers here. With 5 seconds left to go, I don't think it's going to happen here. And that's how it's going to remain. 3-4, the Shakuran move on. Oh, fantastic stuff here from the Shakuran, as they do manage to knock out the Bubblegum Ballers and will be guaranteed a medal. They will have to go against the Golfbirds, who've been the team of the event so far, the MVPs of the event. But first, we have to see which team gets third. It's the Royal Jesters against the Bubblegum Ballers. They're off here. Ball very much on the side of the Bubblegum Ballers. The goalie is there on their own. Someone manages to bring it back now. Oh, but they score a goal on themselves. 1-0 for the Royal Jesters. 15 seconds left to go in the first half. It's still 1-0 for the Jesters. With 10 seconds left to go in the first half, it's still 1-0 for the Jesters. And I don't see the ball moving all that much. But the Jesters, very aggressive play here. The goalie managed to save it. But that's how the first half is going to end. 1-0 for the Royal Jesters as they switch sides. This one could determine bronze here. Of course, the Ballers could still push for extra time if they manage to equalize it. Now it's 1-0, 2-1 now for the Royal Jesters. They've had an answer to almost every single attack that the Bubblegum Ballers have put against them. Royal Jesters and very, very consistent team so far throughout the event. They did lose to the Golfbirds, but they can still come home with a bronze here with 10 seconds to go in the match. It's 2-3 for the Royal Jesters. And that's how it's going to finish. The Jesters get bronze. Fantastic stuff for the Royal Jesters, who have now dropped down to 16th place. They can at least feel safe knowing that now they have another medal to their inventory. They got a bronze beforehand in the long jump. Now it's their second bronze in football. But now it's time for the final. It's the Golfbirds and the Shakuran. One of these two will be a gold medalist. But either way, they both competed very well so far throughout the event. Golfbirds, as I said before, the MVP of the team. It's now 1-0 for the Golfbirds. Golfbirds now very aggressive on the side of the Shakuran. Shakuran playing very defensively. It's 2-0 for the Golfbirds. 3-0. Still for the Golfbirds with 10 seconds to go in the first half. 3-0 Golfbirds. 3-goal advantage over the Shakuran here. I don't see the Shakuran making too many moves in the first half. But it's now 4-0 for the Golfbirds. Massive margin over the Shakuran going into the second and potentially last half of the final here. The Golfbirds very comfortable right now. But the Shakuran could still make it, could still come back here. It's not looking like it. It's 5-0 for the Golfbirds. 1-5 now. 1-6 for the Golfbirds. 2-6. It's still a 4-goal advantage for the Golfbirds. 3-6 now. With 15 seconds left to go in the second half. I don't see it happening from the Shakuran. 4-7 now for the Golfbirds. With 5 seconds left to go in the second half. I think it's over. 4-8 now. And it's over. And the Golfbirds have done it. They're gold medalists in the Valvik Marble League. Once again, a fantastic performance here. What a recovery here from the Golfbirds, who were nowhere at the start of the season, have now come good and are now a gold medalist once again. Shakuran then will finish in second. It's the Royal Jesters then that do take third. And the Bubblegum Ballers will take a decent fourth, but the day belongs to the Golfbirds. Well done to them. Congratulations to our podium finishers, Royal Jesters, Shakuran, and our gold medalists, the Golfbirds. Well done then to the Golfbirds for a fantastic performance here in football. Congratulations also to the Shakuran and the Royal Jesters. But let's have a look then at those overall standings. And look at that, only 4 teams can still compete for the championship. It's the Scorperiors still in the lead, 10 points away from the Carbons in second. But that's it from us from the main league. Coming up next, it's the finale of the Valvik Minor League with the Marathon. We hope to see you there. Goodbye.